Beneath the bustling streets of Rome, beneath the wine bars and modern apartments, lies a second city, silent, endless, and forgotten. Imagine walking through a narrow stone passageway, the air cool and damp, the only sound your footsteps echoing off ancient walls. You strike a torch, and suddenly, the shadows reveal something impossible. Entire rooms, intricate frescoes, aqueducts, catacombs, and streets that no one has walked for over 1,000 years. This isn't fantasy. It's real. And it's only one part of a vast network of underground cities and tunnels that once sprawled beneath the mighty Roman Empire. For centuries, the Romans built not just above ground, but below it. Hidden from sight were the arteries that kept their civilization alive. Secret passageways, sewage systems so advanced they wouldn't be matched for a millennium, underground temples where forbidden gods were worshipped, and labyrinthine quarries that carved out the very stones of empire. But what if I told you some of these tunnels weren't just practical infrastructure? What if some were designed for reasons far more mysterious, and perhaps even dangerous? Let's descend into the depths. 2,000 years ago, the Roman Empire was the most powerful force on Earth. From Britain to Egypt, its cities pulsed with trade, wealth, and innovation. But beneath the marble columns and bustling forums ran a hidden world, one that few citizens ever saw. The Romans, master engineers and pragmatic planners, were obsessed with what lay below their feet. Take the Cloaca Maxima, for example, Rome's great sewer. Built as early as the 6th century BCE, it was more than just a drainage system. It was a marvel of engineering that kept the growing city from drowning in its own filth. Massive vaulted tunnels of volcanic stone carried waste and stormwater into the Tiber River. It was so well built that parts of it are still in use today. But the Cloaca Maxima was only the beginning. As the empire expanded, so did its subterranean ambitions. In cities across the empire, Naples, Pompeii, Paris, and even beneath London, the Romans dug networks of aqueducts and cisterns, creating vast reservoirs hidden underground. In Istanbul, then known as Constantinople, the Romans constructed the Basilica Cistern, a cathedral-like chamber supported by hundreds of marble columns where water shimmered in torchlight like a subterranean lake. To the Romans, the underground world wasn't just for function, it was for faith. Beneath the streets of Rome, secret communities gathered in hidden chambers carved into the rock, the catacombs. There, early Christians met in secret, away from the eyes of Roman officials. These tunnels stretched for hundreds of kilometers, lined with intricate frescoes and inscriptions, echoes of prayers whispered in the dark. But not all underground gatherings were holy. Some were forbidden. Deep beneath the city, archaeologists have uncovered shrines dedicated to gods outlawed by the empire, mystery cults that worshipped deities like Mithras, a Persian god whose followers met by torchlight in underground sanctuaries. These Mithraea were designed to look like caves, symbolizing the god's slaying of a cosmic bull. The rituals performed there are still not fully understood, but one thing is certain. Rome's underground wasn't just an engineering feat, it was a spiritual labyrinth, a mirror of the city above where secrets thrived. And then there were the tunnels of Naples. Few cities reveal Rome's underground genius more dramatically. Beneath modern Naples lies an entire shadow city carved out of volcanic rock. During Roman times, these tunnels were used to channel water through aqueducts and to quarry tough stone for construction. But as centuries passed, they gained new lives. By the Middle Ages, people had begun to live in these empty caverns, carving out homes, chapels, and even gardens underground. During World War II, Neapolitans used them as bomb shelters. Today, explorers still find remnants of ancient staircases, wells, and inscriptions from every era. Naples is a living palimpsest, each layer a chapter in the story of civilization adapting, surviving, and hiding beneath itself. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Beneath many Roman cities, archaeologists have found tunnels that lead nowhere, passages that twist and turn before ending abruptly in solid rock. Some theorize these were quarries left unfinished. Others believe they were escape routes, built for emperors, senators, or soldiers to flee in times of danger. But a few researchers whisper another possibility, that some of these tunnels were intentionally sealed, hiding what should never have been found. In 2015, in the Roman countryside, archaeologists uncovered a tunnel system beneath an ancient villa. At first, it appeared to be another wine cellar or storage space, but deeper inside, they found strange inscriptions etched into the walls, Latin phrases invoking protection, warding off evil. And then, at the far end, a chamber filled with skeletons. No one knows who they were or why they were buried there. Some say the villa belonged to a member of a banned cult. Others think it was the site of a forgotten plague quarantine. The truth, like the tunnels themselves, remains buried. The Romans were pragmatic, yes, but they were also deeply superstitious. They believed that certain places, especially underground, were gateways to the underworld. Temples known as mundus were said to be portals between the world of the living and the dead. Each year, priests would open these gates, allowing the spirits of the departed to walk among the living for a single day. In that moment, the boundary between above and below dissolved. Imagine that for a moment, standing in a Roman forum, hearing the bustle of merchants and soldiers above, while beneath your feet, in the darkness, another Rome stirs, a city of the dead, of forgotten gods and hidden water, of whispered prayers and forbidden rites. Even the Colosseum, Rome's most famous monument, had its secrets below. Beneath its sandy arena stretched the Hypogeum, a two-level network of tunnels and cages where gladiators and wild animals were held before battle. From below, they would rise on wooden elevators into the blinding sunlight of the arena as the crowd roared above. The Hypogeum was the beating heart of Roman spectacle, a place of fear, adrenaline, and death, hidden just beneath the cheers of 40,000 people. So much of Rome's power depended on what couldn't be seen. Water flowed unseen through aqueducts. Supplies moved through underground corridors. Soldiers, priests, slaves all worked in the shadowed half of an empire obsessed with control. The ground beneath Rome wasn't just soil. It was infrastructure, intelligence, and ideology all intertwined. And as centuries passed and the empire fell, the underground endured. When the barbarians sacked Rome, people hid in the catacombs. When new cities rose on old foundations, they built over the tunnels. Layer upon layer, civilization forgot what lay below. In a way, the Roman Empire never truly disappeared. It simply went underground. Today, we're only beginning to map its full extent. Laser scanning, ground-penetrating radar, and modern archaeology are revealing vast subterranean worlds, tunnels connecting temples, cisterns larger than cathedrals, entire neighborhoods buried by time. Some lie directly beneath modern houses, others stretch into unexplored darkness, waiting for the light to return. So next time you walk the streets of Rome, or Naples, or any ancient city, remember this. You're not just standing on history, you're standing on top of another city entirely, one that thrived in silence while the empire roared above. The Romans built their empire on stone, steel, and ingenuity, but also on mystery. And in the tunnels beneath their cities, the empire still whispers. The question is, are we listening?